we go.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's going on?
What it do?
Video today. Sherrod White, how you doing, man?
Good, I'm good, bro. How you?
Good, good. So tell them a little bit about who you are, man.
Oh man, I'm just a believer. First of all, I'm a believer. I'm a husband after that, man, and then I'm an artist, producer, engineer, whatever the job calls for, you know.
That's what's up, man. If you haven't heard
Down there with myself, my producers,
Okay.
The homie Young Noah, the homie Plain James. So we just kind of mobbed up, man, and sped down 75.
Okay.
And got there and just had a great time, man.
When did you get there? When did you leave?
We left, I think it was about Friday morning around 12 a.m.
Okay.
So we got there as the sun was literally coming up, So we didn't want to travel in too much traffic.
That's a nice little drive overnight.
Yeah,
With all the
yeah,
risk of, people getting sleepy. And that's a nice little drive. We left at 3:45 in the morning.
Wow.
And it was still, we got there like, 1 o'clock?
it's like 12.
Yeah,
12,
12.
like that.
12, something like that. So, wow, man, yeah, you all some traveling.
Yeah.
Took turns driving, like.
Oh yeah.
Split it up?
Yeah, we had to split that thing up.
Yeah.
That was especially leaving that earlier.
All right, the box office hit movie Gravity Hope in the Afterlife.
Missed all that, sorry.
Okay.
One more time. We got technical things going on. One more time. Let's
The
go.
box office hit movie Gravity
Oh, yeah.
broke
That's
the
good.
ground for faith in Hollywood, according to Christian viewers who praised the film.
Me and Ryan.
Died watched the film.
Me and Ryan looked at each other like, I guess none of that.
Basically, Christians like the movie Gravity.
Yeah. I went with my wife to see it last week, and Christian, I could. The first thing I said to her when the movie was done was, "This is the kind of movie Christians need to be making." Because I don't know if it was. I mean, honestly, the theme was, moving on after loss in your life and not giving up and things like that. But the way it was done, the quality level it was done at, the subtlety of the message, I think was impressive. And I think sometimes when Christians make movies, they make it so obvious that I wonder sometimes. I was thinking about this even about Christian hip hop. I wonder sometimes who is the audience that they think they're talking to. Is the goal of Christian hip hop's audience to talk to backsliding Christians, or is it to reach lost people? It's hard to tell sometimes. It sounds almost like they're talking to Christians that need to get their act together versus people who don't know what they're talking about. So to me, a movie like that, and there's room for both, because there are backsliding Christians who need to get their act together, but there's a lot of people who don't know anything about what you're talking about. And I think having that message where people have to look it up and say, yo, what was this movie really about? Blah, blah, blah. And then they find out what the details of who made it and why they made it.
The husband to present his wife in order to be issued a divorce. The biblical origin of this law is Deuteronomy 24:1 and 22.
I read the caption on CNN.
To me, a movie like that.
I don't get it now. It's just all over my head. I don't understand what's going on, what the situation is. I'm sorry. Every time I read it on CNN, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I can find that.
Yeah, I feel like we need to research that one. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah.
What's the scripture reference to that? Deuteronomy 24:1 through 2.
So basically, this is something new that's happening that they're trying to. I need to meet it that again. Say it again.
Rabbis in New York are facing kidnapping charges after allegedly arranging assaults of Orthodox Jewish husbands to persuade them to grant divorces to their wives.
Oh, like Hitman.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh,
You can't do that. Yeah.
Bad.
Self-explanatory.
It's no good.
All right, man. That's sign off for today, man. We're so excited to be back in studio, man. Last week was fun, but it's no
Yes.
place like home. So let's get into it. Unifield with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. Yo, these sound like car rap, but it sounds good.
These are brand new headphones.
It's not the headphones. It's a signal coming out of his new system.
He has a new system.
Well, I mean, it's like a month old, but
The thing, can you do that little button thing that we did last time?
I don't know what he pressed last time.
Did you hit? Mm-hmm.
I mean, just this guy is trying to disprove Jesus by saying that the Romans made him up or whatever. So he's doing a conference next week in London. So we were gonna try and debunk it or whatever, but then we were like, people may not even know about this dude, so I don't want to get no airtime.
Yeah.
Busy. So yeah, let's come up with some. Okay, I just tweeted it out, you see? What's your comment right now?
Oh no. You can answer that.
I can't. What you got like a minute.
Hello? Hey, here, this is Ryan. How you doing? Here, we're on the air right now. Yeah, can you call back in about go after 8 o'clock?
You're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I am back in this thing. The Trackstarz left me last week. I was at the airport crying. They left me, man. I was
You went to the
like,
wrong spot, huh?
yeah,
You went at the airport. You get the quick trip.
I know. They're still trying to figure it out, but you know how that goes. Okay.
Before you move on for that,
Yeah.
check this out. We found out something really funny last week.
What's up?
We are still saying his name wrong.
That's what somebody
It is
said.
Andy Mineo.
Mineo.
Mineo. But Craig was doing an interview and he was just like, shout out to my man Andy Mineo.
Mineo.
Dang.
Wow.
And somebody said it on
You on the new one? Yeah. I noticed that. I was
y'all
like,
still saying his name.
I think we should keep saying it wrong. I think that makes us unique.
I like
So-
AM.
And disrespectful.
So when you interview him, you're just gonna be like, what?
There you go, AM.
That's what we do.
AM.
We give people
AM.
names that we
There you
want to
go.
give.
AM. Maybe he'll shout that out.
That is funny. All right. Gemstone signs with Gemstone. We interviewed Gemstones recently, man. Just came to find out that he just signed with Exist Music,
That's
which
what's
is Sean Simmons. Sean Simmons and the CEO of T Black's label.
Mm-hmm.
They said that Gemstone's coming. They're proud that he's part of the team. That is a good, strong situation. And to be honest with you, man, I think this is gonna be great for Gemstones. Like, to be honest with you, when you do stuff by yourself as an indie, it's a little bit harder versus being signed somewhere where they can push you, and he could be pushed in places like Walmart, bigger places, versus just on iTunes and stuff like that. So shout out to Gemstones, man. That's a good look, and he grinds hard, bro. Like he's a good dude, man. So shout out to him. All right, we got some more. I got 2 more stories, and then it's going to be out for you, everybody else. All right, Lecrae premiere a new song on 106 and Park for the second time. See, if he still is going to be on air, or it may be the fact that he may be saving that situation for his personal album. So let's see that. All right, last story. Vernon Davis. Everybody know who Vernon Davis is.
Yeah.
He beat me last week
Yeah.
in fantasy.
All right, Vernon Davis shouts out T-Bone. He said he's talking about the movie. I'm in love with a church girl. He said that he can't wait to see T-Bone in action, man. You're bigging him up and everything like that. For people who don't know, T-Bone's been in other movies as well as the Fighting Temptation. I don't know if you remember that movie, and some other independent movies. But I'm in love with a church girl. Like we saw the billboard for that when we went to go see another movie this week, and like I mean he's not on the billboard, but at the same time his name is like right next to like Ja Rule and Toby Mac, Stephen Baldwin, different people like that in the movie. So the movie should be coming out in a Friday. Okay,
18th.
the 18th. So go check that out. It's a very I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's a very. It feels like it's gonna be a good movie. It looks like it's good, and based off what I've heard, it's the testimony of the person who written it. Like that's his personal testimony. So
Okay.
go check it out, man. Y'all tell us what y'all think in the Trackstarz universe. Copy section this week. We have. Let's see. What do we know? Chris Cobbins has a new album out called Hello World. Rema Soul, Dope Beats, Good News, Volume 2. A good single, R&B single to pick up is Let's See, Look at Me. Free download of the week is Chosen, some lady song. Normally that's what happens. People follow Trackstarz and they start downloading everything.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Nah, but KJ to me had the best quote last week because I told you about it, man. He we started interviewing him. He was like, I was like, yo, thanks for posting our line for line. He was like, come on, dude, I know about all of that. He just started listing off all the stuff he knew, he remembered about us, man. He was like the most controversial radio show. They put artists up against other artists. The artists get mad, the fans get mad, the other fans get mad, but then we tune in and then we're like, they're right.
Yeah,
that was an amazing drop, man. So we really love KJ, Bizzle, everybody that we got a chance to talk to, man. One thing. We've seen this in different places, and I've said this on the radio before. Sometimes I get in Christian hip-hop environments, and it seems competitive, like everybody trying to shine in the room. But Flavor Fest was not like that. Everybody had a good heart. Everybody was communicating with each other. Everybody was in the hallways just dapping each other up, and everybody just had a good heart there. And I was very impressed with everybody there. So shout out to all the artists that made it down to Flavor Fest. That was a good example of what God would want something to look like. It was an amazing event.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get back into some music. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. You gotta fix these headphones.
I'm thinking about just calling back and
Okay.
A CD4 Christian version.
How many songs, Chris?
I've been thinking about that, like, yo, we should do that. I mean, I've seen stuff, being part of this, almost thing, you see stuff like years. Right.
I know. Long and pray. Word is word. Truth is truth. Come on in the hotness.
It's very
Welcome to the sauna.
I know.
Black sauna.
Some black sauna.
Black sauna. All black.
Welcome to Bruce.
Never seen a sauna like that.
I know, girl. We need to vent or something. I had to start fanning my girl. Take out a car or something. We need them little traveling things. Right on how to just take out. The mess with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the husbands don't want divorce them, so they hire people, they go on these trucks, they beat them up, and they force them to divorce the wife.
What are y'all talking about?
Sign off in the grave.
You sound like the big, what's the big people from
613.
That's what it sound
Oh,
like. What's what it sound like?
yeah, but oh god.
Wonderland.
I know. The time is so happy to see Jake.
You got caught up
Oh
to
my
it.
Jake!
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's what I was doing when you was
I
asleep.
knew you meant that bad.
Watching.
Well, how's that going to be? Yes, your boyfriend let go of the other boyfriend. How's that going to be?
He's gonna let the president go.
Well, she kind of wrapped around
Can't
his
let the
neck.
president go. She's the hope for every American. America.
She's the hope for every woman.
Big boy.
I don't know. I tried
What's
to
the topic?
All right. I did. The thing about, okay, what do y'all think about that? Should we bring that up
What
or
are you
not?
talking about?
The people that want to try and disprove Jesus and
That makes no sense. They want to disprove him and whatnot?
They're saying that you never existed, that's
Oh,
real.
Lord.
brought it up to, or made it up in order to control, I believe, anyway, he has this whole thing coming out next week, a whole conference around it, and
All that money
and
they hear
something
about
to me,
tonight.
it meant
I
something
mean,
to
it
me.
does mean something. I'm just thinking, like, wow, the things we do. When is the conference?
Next week.
Wow. Where is it?
London.
Wow.
But I think, we did some research before. I think if you're not well versed on it, it's not gonna really
I got you. Did y'all already talk about? Ooh, why do you look like crazy black man right now? Put your eyes big like that. So,
And I was here and they said, oh, and I was like, just tuned in. Boom.
it's old now. Did y'all talk about the government piece?
Well, no, when
Think
they
about that? Yeah, where we are with the government right now. It's old news now, though.
I want to talk
The
about
shutdown?
why black
Oh, that's a good one. That's
What's
a
a
real
good
good
Oh,
one.
Lord.
Is there an article that supports that?
I
Why
did
black men
not
won't
know,
get
but
it?
he keeps saying me on it.
But
so I don't know.
it's a
Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's the topic.
It's a difficult argument though because most of the black men in here are married. So, but
They said in Atlanta.
I think that's our topic. Let's go. That's the topic.
Especially here.
The article I saw was black men.
so it's a real article.
That'd be more
It's based
And
on
our-
real
and our-
I know, right?
You need to set it up then.
And our
Or
Caucasian
who read the
friends.
article?
But it's true,
Who
though.
set it
Brothers and
up?
sisters can learn.
It's in a lot,
They can learn.
They can learn from
Who
us.
can learn?
Our Caucasian brothers and sisters.
They did what?
Is that light bright enough? Is it illuminating
Hey, we live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Are we, is there audio? Is there audio too?
Yes.
Sorry, y'all. Tracks. Nigga around. At least I didn't say the other one.
Is there enough room?
Figaro, you said Figaro.
I know, Figaro,
Hey,
Figaro.
right. Figaro.
50 seconds.
I was waiting to see, did you get the stuff you needed out there?
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. You in the mecca of same-sex attraction.
Two snaps and
Yeah.
twist.
Yeah.
And a cappuccino.
That's horrible.
That's
Of all races?
Do y'all want me to tell my story again?
Two
I'm
snaps.
trying to get something on the side.
Cappuccino.
Are you still part-time at Starbucks?
20 seconds. Let's go.
Wow, you
We
gotta
better get this
hustle.
thing popping.
Hustle, girl, hustle.
15
Stack
seconds.
it, stack, girl, stack it.
Ding, ding.
How long?
10 seconds.
Um,
You ready? Here we
to
go.
represent for your wife sometime. But you can't bounce over here.
Yeah, back in the field with the track.
Yeah.
Well,
And I thought about this, and I said, wow, I met my wife, and we got engaged in 4 months, and after that, we got married within 11 months. And so I was thinking that, it was definitely it was definitely something I was ready to do. I was ready to get life going, with her. And so 10 months into the marriage, we had our first child. So it's kind of like, I was really excited, and so when I look around and I see my friends, and I'm thinking, you've been with her for 5 years, why aren't you excited? That's a great opportunity, to be with somebody that, you've gotten to know, and you all have been through the seasons. Like, why aren't you just ready for that? And I thought about everything that I'm doing in my marriage, they actually are doing too. And so it's hard to convince somebody that they should be ready for, the next step in life when, you get all the benefits, and then you still have an opportunity to change your mind at the end of the day. Things don't go the way you want it to. So it's too much freedom out there, and it's too many young ladies.
Oh.
no, I said not me.
It's too many young ladies not holding up their standards. We should all take a good example from some of the ladies in this room, because they have
Clean it up, brother.
No, we're saying good stuff. But is it just the ladies? That's all I was gonna say. You were like, it's too many ladies not holding up their standards. So I was like,
I think
what about the men who
Because
call
there are
themselves
ladies,
Christian that are not adhering?
I think going back to some of the topics we've done in the past, like Christian women aren't sexy. I think
He's
they-
trying to be safe.
yeah, I think that
That's living with a woman, and what's the use of getting married? We already in the situation. You know, we're in it together. We're doing, like he said, married things. So what's the use?
But that's not the only pocket. I feel like a lot of men always go to that. Like, what do you say to a girl that is upholding her standards?
Baby,
like-
wait, oh Lord.
Wow.
But no, but you know what's so funny? It's the thing is this. To be honest with you, is I think because let's use Atlanta for example. Just because the situation in Atlanta is kind of like crazy, men could just choose, and at the end of the day, and we could be honest with you. So every man in this room know what they're looking for, and to be honest with you, it may not be the person that is waiting. It may be somebody else that is in the church, and they may be more louder, more visually, stimulating looking, or whatever. But I think it's because men have a more I was trying to think of something. Like, for example, men in the situation is like Baskin Robbins, a lot of flavors to choose from. Whereas for a lady, I think it's more like Subway is just sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know what type of sandwich you're getting, but at the end of the day, it's just sandwiches versus where as a man is like, I got this flavor ice cream, I got that flavor ice cream. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of choices to a man can make versus like, do I want to be with this woman who is like this, or do I want to be with a woman like that? You know what I'm saying? So,
But I feel like there are men out there, and I mean, this happens to me. It's like I'm told, okay, I would want to settle down with you, but they know that they're not ready. It's like they get into the situation, it's like, oh, you're the perfect woman for me, but then they feel like I'm intimidating because of my walk with God, or because they say I'm a good woman. Then they start feeling like they can't make love. It's like, oh, I'm not ready to get married.
It's not a cop out though.
To me,
Anybody
it
wanna
sounds like
answer
a cop out.
That's a man. Go ahead.
I'll touch on this. This don't be Sherrod White. I think the reason why a lot of dudes, without having to commit to anything, that one chick that is like, look, this is that, don't even try it. It's going to make them feel very intimidated because it's like, okay, well, this is a rare breed. So that's why I was saying, like, for a lot of females that are that rare breed, I say stick to it. I mean, and when that Prince Charming comes, it's going to be the right one. It may not be the right time, or you think it's not the time. But I even talk to like a lot of girls about that. Especially then on the college campus. A lot of these girls fall for the wrong thing. They see the guy with the glitz and glamour, got the nice little car, and oh, he paid for this one time, and he paid for that one time, and all of a sudden he's just King Casanova. But versus the guy who's in his books and about God, guys go through the same thing. A guy that is real heavy in the Lord, and he lets that be known, and he's about his books, and know he ain't about going to the club and going to do this and going to do that. He gets looked at in the same light as the female that really has that strong ground. So, oh yeah, good.
Like, I think, and this could be for everybody. Do you think for the guy that you just said that's like that, and then for somebody like yourself, do you think you should, like, do you ever get questioned to lower your standards? Like, so at the end of the day, it's like, when your standards was like maybe a year ago, your standards was like this high, then all of a sudden you like, man, I'm tired of this. You know what I mean? Just for our viewers and our listeners, like, should you lower your standards? Like, and I'm not talking about like, I think we keep beating around the bush about saying to do it or whatever. Not having sex, of course, but lowering your standards. Like, maybe if I'm thinking this way, maybe I need to think another way about dating and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that thought process for anybody has come up. I mean, even for me, like when I started to change my perspective of what I want, because sometimes you think you know what you want, but then you get something close to it, but you're like, that wasn't quite it. And then your perspective changes, because life happens, experiences happen. So you're like, okay, no, this is okay. I thought I knew, but no, this is what I really need. So I mean, naturally, I think that question comes up, and you question yourself like, man, are my standards too high? Or
How much does age play a factor?
I don't think obviously legal age 21.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it to be like but I don't think age equates maturity. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people do have that embedded in their mind and say, well, okay, she has to be this age, this status, and that. You know what I mean? But me personally, I don't think age equates maturity because I see a lot of people that's 35, 40, 50, and they still immature. Lifestyle's immature, thought process is immature, and then you meet some younger people that's early 20s, and they got their stuff together from maturity perspective. So I don't think age, me personally, from what I've seen, I don't think age plays a key role in it. I think it's more based on character, beliefs, morals, etc., etc. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, man. Let's get in some more music. We could talk about this all day. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Another thing I think. Oh, you go ahead.
I didn't get any of that.
Oh man,
I missed the whole process.
Don't do something.
well, I was talking about age as far as like the younger they are. I'm talking about as you get older, your standards get lower.
I got what you said.
Your standards get lower, or are guys at the point where they're like, look, if I can just play the field till I'm 34, then after that I'll be good. I think I have a lot of friends who tell me like, yeah, as soon as I get to like 33, 34, I'll be good. But then a lot of them say too, well, and then a lot of the women say, well, if I get to a certain age and I want to have kids, then I'm going to go ahead and pressure this man I've been dating to make that decision now because I'm not trying to move, I'm trying to move faster than, what he's trying to move.
I was saying some of my friends' standards.
It's not like, yeah, but I think the smaller things. You know what I'm saying? Right. So then the smaller things of just asking how my day was became 20 times more important than being able to fly to here and there and do all that. Oh, because you got some money, you can do all the stuff that not every girl can do. But you got a little money, you can do that. So like went from like here to like it just flopped because I didn't care. I don't care about all that stuff because money come and go. It's about if we broke and got nothing and got two niggas rub together, can we still be that team and still have each other back and still have that love? And that became more important to me. But a couple years ago, it wasn't that way.
Do men have lists as much as women do?
Really?
I think they
yes and no. I used to have a score. When
depends on what category you put the women in.
Yeah, that depends too.
Yeah, for a man that's just looking for something just to hit and quit, there's no standard. Like, but
which is the majority.
Yeah, that's more the majority. Yeah,
that's the majority. So that's why I say no. That's the only reason I say no because the majority of men are not going to have that. I mean, I talk to my boys at school, and I'm just like, to hear these guys talk, I'd be like, yo.
Alfie, I kept everything you do.
I have a skull no more.
So, what about the excuse that men make when they say, well, now that I'm 37, it's harder to find a woman that don't have 3 kids, or
I
she's
feel that way about the men.
That's the society now. I mean,
Like,
having kids young now, so you ain't got to be 37. You could be 27 and have a hard time with finding somebody that don't have kids already. Like that's like with me and my girl. Like that's something that was one of the things that she appreciated because she did this as a kid, and she wasn't really feeling it, but she kind of went with it, but she still wasn't really happy.
Yeah.
And so that's why something like that we appreciate about each other that we both have nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the future, marriage, we can do that.
Yeah.
And enjoy that special thing together. So. Yeah, I think that it's definitely hard nowadays, especially for, being 27 or, but you could be 21 and have that issue though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because I know some, young, you got 2, 3, like you only 23, what are you doing?
Just because they might be teeter-tottering on the fence of leaving an old lifestyle, coming into a new one, and saying, man, I know I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and now I'm moving with this cleanliness. But is that really what I want to do? Is that the person that I really want? Do I want somebody clean? Do I want somebody who's a little out there, whatever? So I think it's an issue. Yeah. Because I tell you, that's one of the things outside destinations all the time. All the time. Guys coming up there for that reason, and then they just like, you cool? Brought you up here. You said you wanted to come.
I mean, I can see that. There's a real fear element, especially if you perceive someone's standard to be much higher than yours.
Yeah.
Right.
So, or for them to be much further, you perceive them to be much further along than you.
That's always found to be an issue, even like even what I've experienced, with me in my ministry, and what I've done, like it's a lot of females are intimidated by it because they feel like they go to church, but they're not really, I'm not, I ain't saying you gotta be a minister. You gotta be the evangelist. I ain't saying that, but naturally a lot of women do get intimidated by that factor. If you are involved in the church, whether you're a deacon or minister, or when you're involved, and like seriously involved, you get intimidated by it because they thought they have to be like where you're at, and it's like no, I look at it as it's a growth thing. Everybody has their own path. Everybody, but as long as you have that understanding, as long as you have that relationship, we're going to have different walks. As long as your goal is to get somewhere, you have the mental capability of understanding that I do want to do something, I may not be doing it yet.
I think a lot of times people they look at like relationships as far as competition. So it's like, well, if I'm here, I got to get there. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of pressure.
Right. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah. Instead of saying like, it's just perspective. You know what I mean? If it's like, if marriage is two people becoming one and not two people remaining two people, I think that would alleviate a lot of the problems.
Do guys feel too, and this is something Chris and I have talked about, like, especially with guys.
Women like that is just ready to submit if you still have that mentality like I know more than you.
Right. That's like that even falls under that whole independent thing, Like, that has a lot of females singing.
Serious Miss Independent was about to jam, but I had to repent. Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah, like that whole Beyonce movement, that is in trouble. Like, a lot of females in trouble on that, I'm independent and all this other stuff. Like, I thought you want to be independent and by yourself.
But I do feel like we have to take care of ourselves
I fully agree. But it's still a line though.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes back to what you were saying because if you don't see an example growing up, that's what you're taught. Like I grew up with strong single moms, parents, whatever, all around me. So it was like that was all I knew, and I literally had to like consciously reprogram myself. Like, look,
that's kind of an excuse, though.
Right.
Oh, what's your excuse? Oh Lord,
it is because
I'm not feel that. Go
ahead.
It's kind of
an excuse because for certain situations, it's like, when can you let that down? When can you be like, I do need somebody to help me versus like, I'm around this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest because sometimes I see that and it's like, this is.
But I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying I couldn't. I'm just saying that initially it takes a little bit to transition from taking care of yourself to, okay, let him take care of himself.
It does. If that's all you're used to,
or whatever. I want it, but it just takes a little bit.
It
That's
does.
what like every situation. Like it take a lot because I mean even like personally, like I mean I was raised by all independent. My mama, my grandma, all independent, all they take care of themselves, their own, and and I really didn't have my dad in my life and stuff like that. Which some guys make that an excuse of why they do whatever they do or don't do whatever they do. Is those type of things. So I feel like I see where he's coming from, where it can seem like an excuse. But like you said, sometimes it takes time to really
you gonna
When
do
you're used to
a
it.
few of them this way.
Yeah,
It's like, okay.
That's what you know.
What?
But
Yeah.
that's real. That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
You know, but that just makes you appreciate,
A few
you know,
of
when you
them
really
was
get
like-
somebody that, and that's kind of like what the situation that, like I'm in and my girl's in, because we went through that span of just waiting like a mother. Like, I'm talking about bad. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about bad.
Or
I'm talking
Clark
about,
and you,
oh
Clark?
man, what?
Wayne.
I'm talking about so much of the fact that have my her exact outfit.
Wow.
Whoa.
With the makeup
You
and
probably ran
everything
into
else.
him.
It's getting like that ridiculous. I'm talking about these dudes is just walking around campus in heels and boots. It's getting that. I'm just like,
We were just talking about how a couple years ago Morehouse had to put special
oh, they
stipulations into
they
the dress
put
code.
they put the dress code out on Morehouse campus. They was winning over there too.
50 seconds.
But at Clark, we ain't got none of that going on. So they out there doing it. I seen the cat yesterday. I mean, I seen the cat the other day on campus. I was like, something wrong with my eyes. I'm gonna wash my eyes out real quick. That man was in like some little gacho, little pants,
Alright.
little red
25
shoes,
seconds.
little blousey shirt on,
He's a blousy.
makeup on,
Eyeliner.
Blousy shirt.
everything. Eyeliner, shadows, lip gloss, stick,
Full woman
everything.
costume, man.
I thought it was Halloween already. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah,
like,
Alright,
it's
we're
just
coming in 7
something
seconds.
for the ball game. That's what I said. That's what he said. Makes a lot of sense. That unorganized house.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Time for my favorite segment, Noteworthy. We had the pleasure of doing this down in Tampa at Flavor Fest on Jam the Hype Live, and it went over very well. People got into it. So if you don't know what Noteworthy is, it's where you as a listener, you can send in an anonymous letter. If you go to trackstarsradio.com, click on Noteworthy, you'll fill out the subject, whatever you want to say. Put your note in there. You could be as deep as you want because nobody knows who it is. And just be honest, man. We'll try and give you as godly advice as possible. So this one is called Roommate Drama. Ready? It says, hey, Trackstarz. First of all, I just want to say, may God continue to bless you all abundantly. You guys are true warriors of Christ. Cool. All right, on to my story now. I'm a college student who has left on-campus living and is now living in an apartment with 2 other roommates. I'm having a current issue with one.
I went straight from my parents' house into my own house.
Yeah, that's blessed.
Yeah.
Everybody
So I can't deal with it. Yeah, different from my wife. I can't really say that that's the worst thing to me. You know, the situation sounds like you just talk to this person and get them straight, and you won't have that problem as deep. It won't be as deep anymore. Like you just say what's on your mind.
Okay, insight real quick. She has talked to this person. The person has promised to pay the money, and they still don't do it. So this has been going on for a while.
I can relate to this. Like, this happened to me plenty of times. So I think the thing is, I feel what you're saying because you don't want people to run over you as a doormat. I would ask this question. 1, like, what are you doing with the money? 2, do you have any situations that's hindering you from really paying us back? Like, ask those questions in depth because sometimes you don't know what's going on until they realize, hey, this is happening to me, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, I didn't know that was happening to you. You know what I mean?
Clarification again.
Okay.
She did talk to her about that.
Okay.
But she said that she had a death in the family, which other roommates have heard that excuse before, so it sounds fake. So she seems all the way shiesty, like all the way. Oh,
well, then when it comes to that, then you and your other roommates may want to see if that's another option. That if y'all come together, like have a meeting with the other roommates besides her and say, we may need to not let her not live with him anymore because it's hindering our process of working. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what happened. But another thing too is, and sometimes you can't really do this from a college situation where you don't know who you really roommate with. But I would say this to anybody out there in the Trackstarz universe: if you're about to get into a roommate situation, get to know the person before you get into that roommate. Ask people about them before you jump into it. Because once you jump in, I mean, you start seeing stuff, and you're like, "Whoa, like really?"
It's like a relationship.
Yeah.
I think if that is done at the beginning, like you will save yourself a whole lot of headache. So where people say, okay, I can't take advantage of that person because I know they're a Christian, but they're also straight up. You know what I mean? And so, like, I think if that's done, a lot of heartache is saved.
Yeah, I think that is very true because, you know, like you said, my whole family grew up in the church, grandma first aid, all that type of stuff. And my grandma is no one's pushover. You know, and she is the most godly woman I've ever met in my life. Every time you talk on the phone, you be talking about the Bible and everything in it. Like, but no one's going to run over her. So it's a way to still be stern and still be holier than thou Christian, you know, just by not letting, you know, setting the standard. It's like setting the standard. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna settle for that. You know, God is not gonna dwell in a place of that type of atmosphere.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna present something to you. All right. So now, yeah, that's good to set that as a standard from the jump, but she's not. She's already past that. This happened to her. Should she file a lawsuit, or should she forgive the debt and, you know, prevent it in the future? What should she do right now? Should she pursue the cable bill money that she gave her, or should she forgive it and try to work towards preventing it in the future?
It's been multiple times as far as like twice.
This is the first time it's happened to her, but other people have dealt with her in the past. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess for a personal thing, I mean, a bit. I mean, I would say give her maybe one more try, maybe, but then if it's still persistent and it's still happening to other roommates around, then yeah, I mean, I think that's the most logical thing to do, so that you can save yourself from acting out of character and you let them take care of it.
No, the reason I asked that is this is a verse that popped into mind when I was talking to this young lady. What did Jesus mean when he said, if they hit you in one cheek, give them the other? If they take your shirt, give them your jacket. I don't know, that's not the right word. But, like, what did he mean by that? Does that apply in this situation? How should she actually react to the situation?
Are all the people that stay in that apartment, are all of them believers?
No. She's the only one.
Oh.
Well, I mean, as far as we know.
Because, I mean, like, just scenario, if all the people that were in the apartment are believers, then, like, you know, if they
care about you and they want the best for you. So this girl is trash to them. Like, they don't care nothing about her. But to you, this girl is in your sphere of influence. God put her in your life to either be a good influence or a bad influence. So because she's in your sphere of influence, I think you need to consider what Jesus would have done in that situation, right? So, yeah, she's had a track record, and you may have done things for her in the past, and she showed herself not to be trustworthy. It is good for you to protect yourself in the future and be wise and not let anything like that happen again by either kicking her out or whatever. But I wonder if this is an opportunity to show grace one more time, and let her know that even though we know that you did us dirty, you know what I'm saying? We know you did us dirty. I still love you. You have to leave, but I still love you. And I'm going to forgive this debt. You see what I'm saying? I just wonder if that's an opportunity not only to sow a seed in that girl's life, but also to sharpen you to be able to handle that kind of a pain. You know what I mean?
Throwing out. The seed is kicking her out.
I mean, I think the seed is showing that even though we're upset with you, we're not. I'm not personally condemning you. I just need to protect my. I can't let you hurt me every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as what you did, that's, don't worry about that. I mean,
forgive the debt, but for how long? I'm sorry. Forgive the debt, but for how long is that grace extended?
That's why I think the balance between. I feel like we have a college student in the room, and she is ready to say something. Come on, come here.
Yeah, so I have a roommate. It's kind of hard. But the easy solution is just like, you can't worry about it now. You already paid the money. You can't get it back. But the best thing to do in the future is to sign a contract. So, like, whatever the situation is with her, like, by binding her to a contract, she's more aware that, like, first of all, how serious you are, but second of all, like, ultimately what the consequences are, and she can't take advantage of you anymore because it's, like, in writing, it's serious. And if you did want to take legal action, if it continued to happen, then you have hard evidence, but, like, it's too soon to do anything legal.
Smartest college student in the room. She comes through again. All right, make sure, tell them who you are again. You can't just run up in here.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm Ryan's sister-in-law. Yeah.
Thanks for coming through. She always drops knowledge every time she comes in here. But yeah, hopefully that'll help you out. You know what I mean? So that's what maybe she said. She could be, but it's still not. It's still better to be like, hey, I need help this month.
Right, be honest, yeah.
Especially with Camille.
Right,
She's the
yeah.
best person in the world.
My worst roommate was probably my freshman year. I mean, we had an understanding about
Oh, yeah.
That's the
End of the year. I don't understand. Right. Unspoken, that spoken, unspoken. Yeah, like, oh, but we
Slap you with the Holy Ghost.
Right.
It's like rain outside.
I've been lucky, man, with roommates. Like, well, I only had two. Like, my roommate that was my freshman year, like, and it happened by accident, but it was so perfect. Because I don't think the roommate who was supposed to be my roommate, I don't know if it would have been as smooth as it was, but he wanted to room with somebody else, and then my roommate, he was so nice, like, oh, okay, sure, I'll come back.
Hey.
And so they switched just because he was so nice.
Oh, no problem.
But
That's what's up.
so it was smooth, and my boy, like,
Oh, good.
you know, like, our birthdays on the same day. That's how crazy that was. You know, and we're like the same. I'm more the outspoken version. He's like super quiet until you get to know you. Then
Okay.
he's all jokes too, but he's more so like the introvert version of us too. Because I think we're like almost exactly alike. So that I'm more talkative. And then so we made sure that we were making.
Yeah, we couldn't get it all in, but I think they understand now.
And then after that,
All right, 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Okay. All right, well.
But yeah, no,
My sister said thank you, by the way, everybody.
Oh,
She said your niece did a good job too.
Yeah, she did. You mean your sister-in-law?
No, sorry, no.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, that light is dim. I'm
45 seconds.
That line is dim.
Hey, did you people been saying on our page that they're starting to block some of the line for line.
In certain countries, they block them. We need to put them on the app.
Why do they block them?
Because the labels will not want certain people to hear it, so they'll block it. But we could post it on our app and they'll be able to watch it.
Such like the question in, I saw some thumbs up like, yeah, you should do that line for line on YouTube. I was like, okay, let's do it. All right, so with that said, brother versus brother, Pusha T versus No Malice. Pusha T versus No Malice. So, yeah, man. We hope this doesn't break up the clip, but if it does, Lord willing. All right. Y'all catch that later. All right. All right, we're gonna start off with Pusha T first. This is lyrically. This is probably one of the lyrical.
Oh wow! Okay.
The production is kind of different. You know what I'm saying? It's not all hype, but it's really bars. All right, so Pusha T first. Suicide. This is suicide. All right, that was Suicide by Pusha T. This is No Malice, different. So, here you go. All right, that was different. Shout out to PK One Day.
Oh, that was them?
Yeah.
That was his son.
Yeah. Remember that track?
Oh, that was them.
Yeah,
Oh, that's them.
They produced that record, so they gave him that record.
Those are
No
nice.
Malice, Different versus Pusha T, Suicide. Who y'all going with?
Ooh. What am I judging?
Same way, man.
All right, that was Shame the Devil.
Ooh,
No
my.
Malice.
Oh my.
That
Wow.
was No Malice, Shame the Devil. This is Pusha T. Numbers on the board.
Don't let your side settle in. Might have to hit, but you ever lean. Ballers. Know what's on the board. Hard to get a handle on this double-edged sword. Whether rapping or I'm rapping to
That was so disrespectful.
rapping up this raw. Givenchy fitting like it's gym clothes. We really gym stars. I'm like D-Rose. No D-League. I'm like these clothes. 88 Jordan.
All right, that was Pusha T. Numbers on the board versus No
Man,
Malice, Shame the
disrespectful.
Devil.
I'm sorry. It was not just what he said, but the look on your face when he said it too.
So disrespectful.
It was unexpected. I was like,
Ryan don't get it. He ain't
No,
down south
I've been
enough.
doing technical stuff every time I'm wrong side.
You know what, Brian?
Tulsa.
If you say Tulsa multiple times, talk to your mama will let you.
ooh, yo.
I definitely like No Malice beat better, so I'm definitely voting
Yeah.
When all else fails.
Man,
Yeah, I know, right?
that was real. That was, I'm sorry, but I hate to do it. That wasn't awesome. They both have bars.
Some bores.
Bars. Yeah, I gotta go past
I'm going all the way, and I'm gonna say push on that.
it. Pusha T got that
Yeah, that's Pusha T as well. It was just mean. It was a mean record.
It was.
Mean record for real.
Yeah, but you ever leave.
one. Yeah, he wasn't apologetic.
Go ahead. I'll say
How
it.
do you say anything about it?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Shame the Devil. No Malice.
My mind, my heart, you still believe you're getting better. That's faith, and every man without the measure. That's why I believe it.
All right, that was He, Ye, Him. No Malice versus Pain by Pusha T. Who y'all going with?
some old buggy blessing.
We ain't learned nothing this weekend.
You said all that at the beginning of the show. Everybody was nice.
Except the Trackstarz.
Yeah, I was already
Pusha T.
controversial.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with No Matters on the simple side. It was just getting some real. Like,
Yeah, but he sounded like Will Smith back in the 80s.
Oh, God.
how you saying he sound like what?
He sounded like Will Smith back in the 80s.
Oh,
Like,
God.
not summertime. Like, parents just don't understand.
Dang, hit it with the no.
Thanks a lot, babe.
Uh,
We can't go to Virginia no more.
Yes. All right, who was it now? What you say?
He said Pusha T.
Mouse.
I guess Pusha T. Cats out there.
toss up.
I got push on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm gearing up to say what I was gonna say.
I know. what
I'm
you're
gonna wait.
say.
I'm gonna
He
wait.
could use that to his advantage, though, because Eminem sometimes does that, but then he flips it. He switches it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could use it to his advantage. We just haven't seen it yet. I heard it.
I know what Sean's gonna say.
All right, so what's that?
Push it out there.
Pusha got
That's 2-1.
2-1. Okay. We're gonna go with No Malice first. This is Unforgettable. Here we go. right, that was No Malice.
Mary Mom, no excuses, no regard. Step on the brick like a promenade. 20,000 on calling cards, and I'm speaking Spanish like Donald Mom. But I'm King Push. This King Push. I rap about track, I don't sing hooks. When the slide talk, miss me with all the hot talk. When them lights on you and them letters there, you point us out like a hot shot. But that's my fault, my details on the sidewalk for 11 years.
Alright, that was Pusha T with King Push. And this is gonna be No Malice, and the song is called Bow Down No More. So here we go.
So, I was the walking king, had to get ahead, ain't got time to sympathize. I was selling that pride, if he dies, he dies. So cold-blooded, but blooded was the best. I was praising God, but living like a hell. How could I meddle all the years I pedal crack? I did it the best, I dare not call the kettle black. Big and bad, out here acting like nothing phased. At Tony's arraignment, I would cry like a baby. Look at his baby snot.
Alright, that was Bow Down No More, No Malice versus Pusha T's King Push. Who y'all gonna win?
I think I know what the problem is. I think it sounds really mean, but I'm not feeling well, so I'm not being in my right mind. But I think the problem with No Malice, I think that what I'm hearing is he's just not ready to incorporate Christian lyrics. So he's coming off kind of like, I don't really know what to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was a better secular artist than he is for Christian hip hop right now. And I think that's where we were going.
I'll be putting words on me.
Because I'm just
So you pushing him back into
no. I'm sitting back here and I'm listening to grinding in my head. I'm like, man, I remember some hotness on that. And then I'm thinking now, I'm like, but he's saying stuff like, you know, I had to fall back. I'm trying to do this. And that's how Red Snapper writes. Because, and the reason I say that is because it's new and you don't know how to really incorporate everything you talk about. Because it's like, okay, so that's what I think is going on. So I'm going to push it to you.
Right.
And he didn't have.
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with No Malice on that too. I thought this song was better. This is how I really feel about it. I know what you mean. I said this about the Clips even before all this. They know drugs very well, and you could tell on their songs. Every verse was about some aspect of drugs, every single one, and they had that on lock, completely on lock. They know everything about it, and I think the transition is going from something that you know by heart to something that's new to you. It sounds a little bit forced. And especially when, you know, he's looking at somebody like a Lecrae, who was kind of the first person to extend his hand to him. In some ways, I feel a lot of people trying to emulate Lecrae in a way. Yeah. And honestly, even people like him, where it's like, he's the standard, you know what I mean, for Christian hip-hop. Yeah. So I think sometimes people try to emulate him. But I think his strength, which I hope he doesn't lose, is that he came so aggressively on tracks about, like, you knew, don't challenge this dude about drugs. Like, he knows it. Yeah. Like, he's confident about what he did when he did it. And I think, of course, it's going to take some time, but I don't want him to lose that, yo, no, I know how to do this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm not hearing it as much as his brother, because his brother's still doing. What I'm hearing in his brother, honestly, is some conflicting feelings about his life, because even he kind of went harder than he's doing now. Yeah. I think what his brother did is weighing on him a little bit. Yeah. So I think both of them are kind of in this state where it's like, this is what I know, but I also know it's not right. So what do I talk about? Because that's all they used to talk about. Every single song, no matter what the concept of the song was, they went back to drugs. Even Mercy, the dude is talking about drugs on Mercy. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Right. So I think they just know that topic very well, and I think it's just gonna take him some time to where he knows, like, the Christian topic that well.
Well, I think the thing is, like, I mean, we got one more song too, but one more. But I think the thing is this, like, they know drugs well. Like, if you read his book or like excerpts of his books and stuff like that, they know it well because they were in it.
Yeah.
So, but you got to think about it from like this. It's like if you go from being a basketball player to all of a sudden preaching. Like, you could preach, but you may not know the scriptures like that. You know what I'm saying? You may not know what.
Like, when you're sitting, you know how it is. When you're sitting in a room, you're trying to write lyrics, stuff comes into your head whether you want it or not. And as a Christian, you have to filter it. Like, can I say that? Can I say that? You know what I mean? I think he's doing that a little too much. Like, can I say this? Is this okay? You know what I mean? And I don't want him to inhibit himself.
Yeah. So you got Pusha T? Oh, no, you said
Malice.
No Malice. I would say No Malice too. I like Bow Down No More better. Yeah. So it's 3-2?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so this is the final one. We're going to go with No Malice first. Smoke and Mirrors. Here we go. All right, that's Smoke and Mirrors.
It's
No
closer
Malice.
to what I meant.
That's like what you said was like,
it's about half and half.
Hair difference.
Yeah. And this is Pusha T, Sweet Serenade. Here we go.
All we do is just reach here, raise round. We just happy to be here. Spot them, got them. Let your soul pay your dues while I'm doing magic. Voodoo, Moulin Rouge. That's a tactic that they use. Hide and suck them dry. Before you know it, her Q7 is buzzing by. The queen pin to the kingpin redeems him. The boat comes, the drums, my team wins. Yeah, this the life that we need.
All right, that was Sweet Serenade, Pusha T versus No Malice, Smoke and Mirrors. Final one.
I can't wait till Pusha T come around and they get back together and do this for God. Like, I think them as a unit, when they write together, is untouchable. I think they're both kind of in limbo right now because they don't really got they do with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I hope that God comes to Pusha T and he comes around too, because I think, I mean, I don't know. I may be completely wrong, but I feel it in both of them almost. Like they both kind of in that.
The real question is, can he do that with Kanye?
I mean,
the reason I'm saying that is because Pusha T is on good music, and he's like almost Kanye's like right hand man almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how does that work? You know what I mean? He was saying like, this is what No Malice was saying, like Pusha gives you what you want, I give you what you need. Like that, almost like that good versus evil, but you're hearing it on records from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So like, I think the thing is, for example, he didn't rap like the way y'all saying. He didn't rap like that on their last project, and he was giving like on certain singles, he was giving like real truth.
Yeah.
Like when you hear him, you're like, oh, it's something different between where he's going. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know enough really to say what I'm saying, but I just feel like there's a pressure in the Christian industry to be like, if I want to sell records, the world don't want to hear what I'm saying. Christians don't want me to say anything wrong. So I need to cater my content to make sure at least Christians will buy it.
Yeah.
And there's a pressure there to be like, because I mean, we saw the industry, like the Flavor Fest industry and everything. People expect a certain amount of theology in your content.
Yeah.
But if you're called to be more of a minister, or not a minister, a missionary to the lost, it's kind of hard to please both sides. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want him to be somebody that got called to be a missionary, and they want him to just be a teacher.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of different calling. So anyway, I mean that's just throwing out.
So who y'all ride with on that one? That's one.
Ryan in here.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in the room.
I'm not going to
Also,
I forgot toss up.
I honestly thought it was a toss up, so I'm gonna give it a legit toss up. No Malice won. So what was it, tie? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Nobody can be mad now.
That's what it should be, honestly. That's what it should be.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell they're brothers. You hear, I'm like, well, sometimes I'm like, who's listening to? They definitely have similar styles. That's why I'm definitely gonna start praying for Pusha T some more because I just feel like it ain't gonna be right till they back to. I mean, the clips is just it was just so good. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's
But
just
he said, like I said in the interview, that he was saying that they maybe doing another Clips album. But like I said, like, and I think just from a music perspective, the last project was like you're hearing two sides of a story. You know?
I normally play what we do a lounge along with. I play a song. I think somebody told us we should do that. And I started
no, that's a good idea.
That's actually him and his brothers on that record.
Who?
Him and Pusha T's on that song.
On this record?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And
this
then
Pusha T
sounds
is
better.
No, this is not.
No, this sounds like the old stuff.
Right. Sound like he means what he's saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. Let me try to sound like what she was saying. Sound like Fresh Prince. Like
They had an intimidating flow pattern, right?
They did, man.
I mean, like if you walk up to them, you'll be like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, they had that kind of
I don't
attitude.
want none.
right. You got that,
They
bro.
could be 2 feet tall. I don't
Right.
But like, I ain't want to say this on camera, but a lot of the people that they was rolling with got indicted in Virginia.
Right.
A lot of people they were rolling with got indicted for
Oh, yeah.
drug charges in Virginia.
know about heart.
I do. It's in the car. Mm-hmm. I try not to take it too often. Bayer migraine. You taking migraine? Really? I've had Bayer migraine. I've tried Bayer migraine, Celebs migraine, and Advil migraine. It's so rough on the stomach. Take it all. You still with me? That's good. Yeah, I went to the doctor and they gave me some preventative medicine for all my headaches, but after I started taking it a while, I started realizing I can just be on medications like this and I don't know, it's not preventing anything. I mean, they say it's preventative, but I mean, I'm just taking the medication every day. Really? Nah, that is weird, but I've been
But
going to do
I know that I'm kind of serious stuff, but that happened like with my mom before. Like, she was just called like migraine and found it had something to do with having a weakness.
Yeah, because they were saying like
It hurts.
the nerves, or what's it called? The sinuses, I think that's what you I don't know that one. I haven't had one.
That happened like a couple of sinus infection attack like a couple weeks ago. If I like to like a numb until like the morning. So I think this is so good. This happened a couple of days ago. So yeah. All right, okay. Yeah.
A couple people in mind. It was too close. I was like, I opened my.
How can you see them?
Probably like, I think that we got this year for like, I don't know, like 2 months. Then we're like, going out there for like New Year's and then we came back in the spring break. So then I was on the school and then I was like Cali.
Yeah. Gary. Oh, okay.
I know what you like. I know what you like.